Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of Trading Fibs to bring you the daily trend for week 26, June 28th. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. To support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. Alright, Tuesday. Let's see what was going on economic-wise. Price action moving on GDP. GDP slightly up. Corporate profits. There it is. Red Star event. S&P Case-Shiller and consumer confidence. GDP actually came in a little bit higher than expected. Consensus was 1.0, actual 1.0. All right, let's take a look at week 26. Where'd the market head today, as we've been in a downfall ever since Brexit last week. For the week, currently 12 setups, 418 ticks net. Most of those on the NQ after picking up some nice ticks today on the NQ. There it is, 195 tick run, totaling up 260 ticks. It was one move with three on all three indices and an NQ at the end. Let's take a look at what those setups look like for the recap. As price action pretty much out of the gate. This was overnight session, actually. Price action to the upside, hoping that we'd continue that same direction, and here we go. Price action gets a nice lift here. T3 moving averages all in the green, all in the green, all in the green, both on the NQ, the YM, and the ES, and there they are. Just getting a little piece of the pie here is price action right out of the gate, all in the green. Tick count, AD line, everything was in a match today, so put you in the trade, manage it up on the way up, whether you pull out of the trade after the soft pullback or the hard pullback, just to get some ticks. Held on to the NQ just a bit longer. Looking for the highest probability, well, either you go on the higher time frames that we've been doing the last couple days. Those two charts on the right, here we go on the here on the ES, we can see price action holding to the upside on a 10 tick chart. Here on a 5 tick chart, or a 6 tick, this should be actually a 6 tick. I apologize, this shouldn't be the same time frame. We'll have to go ahead and change that. But anyway, both time frames should have been higher, and here on the left was the smaller time frame. So if the higher time frames are in the green and you got an entry on the smaller time frame with all three charts in the green, that puts you into the setup and into the trade. Market internals keep you in or hold you out from taking the trade, and then it's all about managing it on the way up. So whether it was the ES or the NQ, here we can see the NQ on the proper time frames. Here's a 20 tick, all in the green. Here's a 15 tick, all in the green, and there it is, entry from the get-go. T3 moving averages upside above the T350, three charts in the green, to the upside chop, and eventually out. This is what you're looking for each day. Anything else carries a higher risk. If you don't see it, if it's not working out, you stay out. And that's exactly what happened at the end of the day. Nice move at the end of the session here with about 45 minutes to go. Buy signal upside. Again, only two charts in the green. I hold off, even though long, great trend. Sometimes you just got to say, oh, well, it went. It left me behind. I couldn't really get an entry. You could look at the soft pullback here in the red, but you decide to stay out, even though everything looked great. YM had probably the best of entries. Three charts in the green, not bad. Price action was above the 51.44, finally crossed over, so I'd only say the YM had the best. But hey, you know what? If you're trading off anything else and you see the trend and you supplement it into your strategy, you go for it. All right, let's take a look at the AD line across the board. Price action, again, we saw that lift in the morning session. Love it when price action is lifting in the same direction as price action. So AD line's upside, price action's upside, market internals in the green. You had upside, and we had a little bit of that chop. European close, move it down, chop pretty much sideways. So kind of an opposite of the last couple days. Here we could see the AD line came downside and plateaued. Today, a little bit of a pullback back to the upside. All right, let's take a look at the 5-minute charts with our key lines of concern, we call them. Here we see price action. When we say range bound, we're talking about the 25-minute open range depicted by the long solid green and solid red here. On the crude here, price action again still remaining at the highs, 47s, closing out towards the high 48s as we lead into tomorrow with EIA report. Price action floating right back to today's open, not really being able to push down any higher than yesterday's high. All three across the board pretty much staying within their open ranges. So there we were. Market action lifts. Chops within around today's open here on the YM, yesterday's high on the NQ and ES, same picture around today's open, finally getting lift in the afternoon session, and still moving upside as the market set to close here in about 25 minutes. Day Fibonacci levels, how do we do today? Yes, how about that? NQ to the upside, YM just barely by it. Just by a tick there. Actually, it was 3 ticks. So the YM pretty close in the zone. Anyway, you would front run it. Not bad. And the ES up here at 045 plus some to close out the Fibonacci levels. We are doing pretty good for the week. 2 out of 2. Yesterday, we didn't... I believe we got them yesterday. I actually sometimes have to go back and remember, but we're doing pretty good for the week as it is only Tuesday. All right, let's take a look at the daily trend. Let's jump into the charts here. Price action, let's jump backwards here. Let's start with the crude here as we see price action on the crude. Again, didn't have many setups. You had a trend building up here on the sell signal under the T3 moving averages crossing over the T350. So not a bad setup here with 3 charts in the red to the downside. Again, trying to set that trend back up so you avoid this setup, and then buy signal right here. 4 charts in the green. There was your move on the crude in the afternoon session. Taking a look at the YM. Again, YM not needing to go to the higher time frames today. Here's the price action from the get-go. We got that nice lift. Price action again coming back as we roared toward the European close. A lot of chop mid-session, looking for multiple time frames to be in sync. Didn't really get them until there it was. The YM, the best of the setups, as you saw the buy signal here on 3 charts in the green. Taking a look at the NQ, price action on the NQ getting a really nice lift today. Here T3 moving averages pulling back and then lifting up. 4 charts in the green here. Again, a lot of chop in the midsection of the 534, and you can see the T3 moving averages going back and forth and being unable to keep up on the 5144, a little bit of chop here. So really mid-session was a bit tough to stay out of, and then that last move, 2 charts here in the green, 3 charts finally, and you're kind of chasing the trade. You just let it go, and finally the last entry of the day, only 2 entries on the NQ, got a little piece of this at the end. Taking a look at the ES here, ES across the board. Again, T3 moving averages upside from the get-go. A lot of chop downside. A couple small scalp entries to the downside here as you had 3 charts in the red, 3 charts in the red. Nothing here until the mid-session of lunchtime there on the buy signal to the upside. Again, not bad, but a little higher risk as you didn't have as many charts in sync. Finally, a little bit of chop towards the end, a little bit of a fake out there. Stop at the swing size. You've been okay. Buy signal to the upside, 3 charts in the green, and pop to the upside. Taking a look at the GC. Again, much smoother today on a 10-tick range chart. Here it is. There's your move. Price action on the gold to the upside. Early session here above the T3 moving averages, and pretty much just chops out the remaining session here. You might have given a little bit of a lift here, but didn't go anywhere quick. Hey, 6E with a nice move towards the end. Price action here. Again, buy signal, soft pullback again above the T350. T3 moving averages had crossed over. You're in sync with the second row. So very nice move on the euro in the late session. Everything else was downside pretty much overnight session, as you can see. One move after another after a little bit of lift actually during the European session itself. So markets up during the overnight, only to pull back in the first couple of hours of the US, only to chop and then pop once again. All right, let's take a look at the daily gaps. How did we do today? Taking a look at our daily gaps. Yesterday we left you off with daily gap from previous session. There they were. We closed them out today, represented by the dashed line. So we'll go ahead and close those out. You won't see those there tomorrow. We still have open gaps remaining up above. Nothing more than a line of concern. We've talked about open gaps below, open gaps above, but it can be a point of reference as price action moves during the session. Again, crude once again finding the low and bouncing back upside to close out those gaps all across the board. Taking a look at the volume profile, price action on the volume profile, 600-day VPOC still upside. Point of interest here, NQ 4209, almost shy of that by a little bit. We got 4290 up here, 4282.75 around our highs here. So not really coming out and closing that out. Again, crude finding some solace and peace and comfort and rest here at 48.30 as the 600-day VPOC is just slightly above. All right, so we watch those daily just like we would watch a daily gap to see if those lines get closed out. Do we push through it? Do we close it out? Do we fade off? Well, you tie those in with the momentum on the intraday, always being ready in both directions, and you got yourself a level to either manage your trade off of or to close it out. All depends on how you manage your trade. All right, let's take a look at the daily big pick as we move into tomorrow market outlook. Again, the current trend, I can't tell you where we're going tomorrow. All I can tell you is every day what is the highest probability of a move based on the current momentum. But if momentum is turned upside, we know we're still in a downwards trend here currently on a 4-hour chart on the crude. If we hold below the 50 MA, I said yesterday that price action would continue downside to seek those open gaps and levels of support or the 200 MA. But hey, right now, as we also mentioned, if price action does rebound, we have the 50 and the 144 upside. So we will watch these tomorrow for resistance to see, does crude hold here or does it come back down? Well, we'll see on the crude report tomorrow and perhaps reaction in the next session on Thursday. Wrapping it up with our three indices across the board, NQ, ES, and YM. Here we go. NQ still holding below the 200 period moving average. Here we have price action on the ES just breaking above the 200 today. YM above the 200. 4-hour charts looking like crude. Pull back upside as T3 moving averages have been holding downside underneath the 51.44. So we remain in a downwards trend currently, whether Brexit, post-Brexit, catalyst moves to move the market in either direction. Just be ready every day. Look for these lines as a reference for resistance tomorrow, or hey, if the market's going to move back up, it moves back up. Watch for the 50 MA on the daily for a line of resistance. As long as we continue to move upside, the trend will change and we will go ahead and close out those upper gaps. So as far as where we are now, draw your trend lines, draw your fib lines, whatever it might be. Volume was for the last 3 days has been pretty good, lifting the market both down and now back upside. In any trend, there will always be counter trends. And so if today remains to be a counter trend and we simply resist at these levels, price action will then return back downside. If we're to break back upside, watch for the breakout above the 144s for a change in trend. Again, price action moves up, we'll come back down and test those 51.44s. Again, big picture, guys, is we're not going very far. We're pretty much staying in this envelope of a range for the last months, almost year, as price action in the market's pretty much in an indecision time. All right, as we head into tomorrow, let's take a look at what to expect. Janet Yellen, she was up. Do I have the wrong week? I thought she was up. She must have been taken off my calendar, unless I had the wrong week. So I'll have to go ahead and write that one off. I could have sworn she was there last week, but anyway, Yellen was up on for Wednesday. But watch for the crude tomorrow. We got Fed speaker on Thursday, Fed speaker on Friday as we roll out the week. Again, jobless claims tomorrow and pre-holiday weekend as we finish up the end of the month, which end of the month window dressing can come into play as well. All right, that concludes an insight into the daily trend. Feel free to stop by at Trading Fibs or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra of one simple strategy: any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. Find me every day on Twitter at Trading Fibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. Make sure you check out the futures, ETF, and market cap leaders, where I review each week. So for this last week, covering the ETF futures, market cap leaders, FX pairs, etc. through a 99-page document. Go ahead and pull it up. There it is, a newsletter which covers a variety of different not only industry leaders but market cap leaders as well, where I go over the current trend. Again, that's over the weekend, and then looking at where are we at on a 4-hour chart daily chart and a weekly chart, and then tying that in where you would look for a possible opportunity to either continue to go short or to be in a long position. Have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever it may be, whatever you may be doing. Good day, good night, and good trading.